Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Laura A. Music Corner. I am very happy and excited to be back with you guys today. It's been a few weeks that I had done any music reactions. I want to apologize to people that I haven't been putting out as many reactions this month. I promised that I was going to do like a Halloween theme, but some of the things kept happening. And unfortunately, I received pretty much like news that one of my cousins were murdered the beginning of this month. Um, you know, it's, I needed to spend time with family and really process the grief. It's not been easy. And it didn't happen here in the US, it happened in Puerto Rico. And so, it's a matter of like things that I had to take care of, spend time with family and go through the process. But I know my cousin would love to for me to continue living my life, still be happy, smile, be silly, and I'm going to continuing honoring him in that manner as just being myself. So this is where I got to this point here. I recently did like I mentioned on the Duran Duran video reaction that I did recently, that there was rumors about a new song being released. And sure enough, today is the day. I'm recording this on October 23rd. So they released a remix of a classic. So they released Shadows on Your Side. So I'm doing a first time reaction. I wanted to hear this new remix. It was one of my favorite songs that I heard when I was a teenager back in the day, listening to Seven and the Ragged Tiger album. So I'm very excited to do this reaction. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy some Duran Duran. Shadows on Your Side.
They want you to
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it because it's just adds a different dance beat into it, and I know a lot. I'm pretty much I'm the same way like that. That any music that is done as a remix, some people prefer to keep it as the classics and not change it up too much. Just remain as it was back in the day, which I could understand a lot of the Duran Durans might feel about it. Me, I don't mind adding a little bit of mix into the new music because, it's, let me tell you this. If you guys were to go into my playlist in Spotify under Laura A Music Corner, you're going to see a ton of remixes that I have like a special section for Duran Duran. And so, like, I will have a ton of the same songs because I find certain remix fun, and I like the different like switches they do on their songs. So I really don't mind listening to a different remix of the same song because to me it feels like I'm listening to different songs. I now have to also listen to the regular um like a regular hits of back in the day. But when they start playing around with the sounds and the mixes, I really don't mind because it just adds a little fun to the music. It adds a little like a dance, like if you go into a dance party and adding a different mix of music. So I really don't mind. I quite enjoyed it. I think it's really fun that Simon and the boys were able to, keep the essence of the original song, but adding a little twist to it towards the beginning and even in the middle, which I quite enjoy. And after all, I love what they do. They try to reinvent themselves, and they are reinventing themselves, and it's quite fun to go in their journey in exploring the different sounds they come up with. So I'm going to take the song back. I'm going to stop along the way and share the different points that I enjoy from the music and give my own personal thoughts on, what I feel certain things could have done a little differently. But you're going to see. Alrighty, so sit back. Let's do this one more time. I like the beginning because you could hear um John adding that bass. Like it felt like if it was like a slight club feeling, like back in the 80s, 90s, early 90s, that you had the era of the clubs. You're going into the club and just getting the vibe, and that's the sound that I really got. And I just like how John is able to add not a heavy bass, but a really light, funky, fun bass sound. And then when you had Nick adding in that little changes on the keyboard, I really like it because it was very playful and very fun and very light start of the music. So that was a good entry. And just to hear that once you have the keyboard fading back and it's just you hear three things I heard in my head. I heard John's um bass. It dropped a little bit on the sound, but just to hear Simon's voice, he came in high, but not too much. And then you just hear the thumping from, Roger's drum. But just to add that simplicity, you know, start, it's just like it was really cool because it's just like they didn't do too much. It wasn't over the top. So I really enjoy how it just transitioned into this part. And just to hear just three people, the John, Roger, and Simon, especially Simon singing. And it's just really captures, the beautiful voice that Simon always has, and just emphasize it, echoing it. Like it's almost like you're in the middle of the night and just echoing in darkness. So I really enjoy that start. They want you to play, but the music's loud. I went back. Let me go back again. They want you to play, but the music's loud. When I heard the guitar right here, now I was really debating really hard whether it was Andy playing or was it Dom. So if anybody knows the answer to that question, who was playing in this particular single? Because I know there was certain parts of this song I would hear similar to Andy's style of music, but now it caught me off guard because it sounded very heavy, more of Andy Taylor's style, but a slight difference. So I'm just kind of curious if anybody knows who played this particular track. Was it Andy Taylor or was it Dom? So, either or, I find both musicians wonderful. But I just noticed a slight different sound to it. And I'm trying to debate whether it was Andy actually playing this single, still hanging in the background, helping with the band, or was it Dom, still continuing forward with the band as well. So if anybody knows, you could drop a comment and help a sister out here. I would appreciate it. I like when the bass just dropped and adding that little thumping sound. I just loved it because it's just like it changed drastically. And I just love how the transition is happening at that moment. So it was just like it caught my attention. And then the switch came in and I was like, wait a minute, this sounds very familiar. I'll get to that one. It felt like we were going through a transportation of space and then landed in a different realm. That's how it felt for me. That's when I stopped right here. That moment, I was just like, wait a minute. That's when you saw me looking down because I didn't want to forget what I was going to say. And I was writing it down. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know this beat. And it feels like they were experimenting with Depeche Mode's song. And I was like, wait a minute, what's it? Because it's been decades since I listened to Depeche Mode. But I know this song very well. And then when I looked at it, I was like, yes, that's the one. So it felt like we were transported into Depeche Mode sound for a split second. And that song is called Personal Jesus. And so I was just like, okay, this is really cool. And then easily they just drifted into another realm, So it was really cool just to hear something similar, like pretty much something transporting ourselves back into the 80s, not only Duran Duran era, but also a Depeche Mode time frame too. So it was really cool. And this is where I was debating really hard on the guitar because the sound was different. It went heavier on this one than at the beginning. In the beginning, yes, it had a heavy sound, but this part, it's almost like they used Andy's old um, playing sound in this particular part of the track. So you could hear more pronounced of a heavier rock sound. And so that's why I was like really like thinking back and forth, like, was it Andy? Was not Andy. But this sound, it was like, it sounds like more like Andy style. But I just like how it was like transitioning more into the original song, but still adding those little elements. Like I caught a little element of a band back in the '80s. They had these xylophone that they used to use in their music video. I forgot the name of them, but I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. But I just like how they added these little subtle changes, the subtle sounds of back in the day, the music of back in the day. I have to admit here, and I'm a very stickler on this part of the music because I hear the guitar, like when you hear those chords being played. I wish Simon would have took it down, like maybe a couple of octaves low, because I really loved when he did it lower, adding a little more bass, saying shadows on your side, instead of like how he's singing it a little higher. Because for me, it felt like more in depth. It's almost like adding more of a personal touch. I do understand that you want to change it up a bit on the like towards the beginning. But I felt this ending, like as you go towards the end of the song, it should have stood as a octave too lower, having Simon go low, like when he did back in the day, and just adding that drop, like shadows on your side, like adding that. I think I felt kind of like cheated at that moment because I love the song, but I felt like he could have just bring it down a bit, you know. But still love you guys. Don't think it's a hating song. I really do enjoy it, but I just love it. Other than that, I love them. I love them. I think they're a super awesome band. They're icons. And like I mentioned, like in past videos when I did reactions last year, that anytime that I felt sad or something going on in my life, I always listen to their music. And get in touch in my inner child and be happy for a little while. And so, you know, it's definitely a band that I will always have in my heart and enjoy. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So thank you again, everybody, um, for checking out this content. If you like this reaction, you guys know what to do. And if you are new to the channel, you're very much welcome to subscribe. And thank you again for just being here with me and making me happy. So yeah, so I will see you again in the more new music reactions coming up in the future. So have a wonderful day or evening, and I will see you here at Laura A. Music Corner. Have a good day. Bye.